Chapter 1: The Arrival. As the heavy iron gates swung shut behind him, Alex felt a chill ripple through his body. The clang echoed ominously within the vast concrete walls, a stark reminder of his new reality. On his first night in the maximum security prison, fear gripped him tightly, each shout and echo in the distance amplifying his anxiety. Lying on the cold metal bunk, he replayed the circumstances that led him here, a moment of passion that spiraled into tragedy. In the dim light of the cell, Alex began to connect with fellow newcomers, sharing tentative smiles and hushed conversations. They exchanged stories of their pasts and the fragile hopes that still flickered within them. Amidst the pervasive despair, a sense of camaraderie formed, igniting unexpected warmth in the bitterness of confinement. Through the sharing of their fears, they found strength, forging bonds that would become their lifeline in this unforgiving world. Chapter 2: The Life Inside. Maria's entries reveal the stark reality of life behind bars. As a former school teacher, she finds herself grappling with an entirely different lesson plan, one of survival and resilience. The monotony of prison food, the clamor of overcrowded cells, and the incessant calls of guards create a disorienting backdrop to her days. Through her reflective diary entries, Maria shares moments of dehumanization, but also the unexpected camaraderie she forms with fellow inmates. She reminisces about her vibrant classroom, the joy of nurturing young minds, and the harsh contrast of her current environment, where dreams feel distant. Yet, it is within these walls that her strength is tested. Maria reveals how she channels her past experiences into mentorship, becoming a guiding light for others, offering lessons not just in academics, but in hope and humanity. Her voice resonates with determination, revealing the heart that still beats fiercely within the confines of despair. Chapter 3: The Redemption Movement. In this chapter, we delve into the transformative journeys of inmates participating in a groundbreaking rehabilitation program led by Tom, a passionate social worker. The scene resonates with the sounds of laughter, paintbrushes gliding across canvases, and the heartwarming rhythm of poetry being recited. Tom believes in the healing power of art and education to unlock the hidden potential inside each inmate. Through their artwork, inmates express their innermost sorrows and dreams, providing glimpses of their humanity beyond the bars. The voices of artists like Daniel, who creates moving pieces reflecting his childhood, and Sophia, whose poetry speaks of hope amidst despair, inspire a narrative filled with resilience. As they share their creations, a sense of community blossoms, revealing that even in a place designed to isolate, creativity becomes a lifeline, fostering redemption and a renewed sense of purpose within these unforgiving walls. Chapter 4: The Bonds We Forge. In the unforgiving environment of the prison, relationships become the lifeline for many inmates. Here we delve into the story of Derek, a long-term inmate who has embraced the role of mentor. With years of experience navigating the complexities of prison life, Derek shares his wisdom with new arrivals, including a young man named Jordan. Their connection blossoms over shared stories and lessons learned through hardship, creating a brotherhood that transcends the prison walls. Derek reflects on the importance of these bonds, emphasizing that laughter amid sorrow and moments of vulnerability can forge unbreakable ties. He recounts instances of shared struggles, fights fought together, and the solace of companionship during solitary confinement. As Derek guides Jordan through his fears, he reveals the fragility of hope in a place that often feels devoid of it, proving that even in the darkest corners, relationships can spark moments of light and resilience. Chapter 5: Unexpected Tensions. As the sun dipped behind the prison walls, an ominous tension filled the air. Alex's heart raced as he felt the unexpected lockdown sweep through the facility like a chill. The familiar sounds of the prison, clanging doors and distant murmurs, transformed into an unsettling silence, punctuated only by the echoes of hurried footsteps. Inmates, thrown into a mix of confusion and fear, huddled together in their cells, exchanging hushed whispers about the incident in the yard that triggered the lockdown. Amidst the chaos, Maria seized the moment, her mind racing with an idea to uplift spirits. "Let's start a secret journal exchange," she suggested to a few trusted fellow inmates. With paper and pens hidden in their cells, they began to share their fears, hopes, and dreams. In that claustrophobic stillness, the power of words blossomed, reminding them of their humanity and the strength they could find in each other despite the dark uncertainty surrounding them. Chapter 6. The Secret Exchange. In the cramped confines of their cells, Maria, driven by an innate desire to uplift her fellow inmates, initiates a clandestine journal exchange program. She discreetly collects handwritten entries from her peers, each page brimming with raw emotions, untold stories, and dreams yearning for light. The somber prison atmosphere transforms as inmates begin to share snippets of their lives, tales of regret, sorrow, and flickering hope through this small act of connection. As they pass the journals from cell to cell, the barriers of isolation weaken, replaced by a shared understanding of their struggles. Laughter mingles with tears as they read each other's thoughts, fostering bonds that transcend their bleak surroundings. This secret exchange doesn't merely serve as a coping mechanism, it becomes a lifeline. Maria reflects on the resilience blossoming within the prison walls, revealing how a few written words can carve pathways toward emotional healing, turning despair into a flicker of light amid darkness. Chapter 7. The Weight of the Past. As the sound of clanging metal echoes through the corridors, inmates grapple with the burden of their pasts. This chapter offers raw, emotional reflections from Alex, Maria, and Derek as they confront the weight of their decisions. Alex recounts the flashbacks of that fateful night, the split-second choices that led him to prison. Maria, in her diary, writes about the guilt of leaving her former students behind, haunted by the lessons she wishes she could impart. Derek reflects on his long journey, acknowledging the irreparable damage his actions caused. Each voice interweaves a narrative of regret, showcasing how the past looms like a shadow over their lives. Through intimate conversations and shared moments of vulnerability, the inmates recognize that while their histories are unchangeable, acknowledging them is the first step toward healing. The chapter culminates in a collective realization that understanding their past may pave the way to more hopeful futures. Chapter 8. The Hopeful versus the Despairing. In this chapter, listeners are immersed in the divided psyche of the prison population, where hope dances with despair in the stark confines of concrete walls. Through intimate interviews, inmates share their contrasting journeys, some navigating toward the light, while others remain ensnared in the darkness of their pasts. Lisa, a vibrant artist, speaks passionately about her dreams of opening a community art center, igniting inspiration among her peers. Meanwhile, Marcus, grappling with guilt, can only recount the weight of his decisions, consumed by regret. These narratives highlight the delicate balance between resilience and hopelessness within the prison environment. As they share their stories, the stark juxtaposition reveals how personal choices and perspectives shape their realities. The chapter encapsulates the human spirit's complexity, illustrating that even within despair, a flicker of hope can ignite transformation and drive profound change. Ultimately, it poses the question, which mindset will prevail behind these bars? Chapter 9. The Family Connection. In the confines of prison walls, letters from home serve as lifelines, bridging the emotional chasm between inmates and their loved ones. This chapter presents the poignant stories of several inmates, showcasing the transformative power of familial ties. Unlike the sterile environment that envelops them, each letter carries warmth and familiarity, echoes of laughter, shared memories, and expressions of love that make the grim reality more bearable. We hear from Alex, who shares a heartfelt letter from his younger sister, reminding him of happier times spent together. Meanwhile, Maria reflects on the words of her mother, reassuring her of unwavering support amidst the uncertainty. These exchanges illuminate the stark contrast between life outside and the barrenness of prison, reinforcing the importance of maintaining connections. As bonds are strengthened through words, inmates discover that the love of family can ignite a renewed sense of purpose and determination, fueling their hope for a future beyond the bars. Chapter 10. The Path of Reforms. In this pivotal chapter, the documentary delves into the systemic challenges surrounding rehabilitation efforts within the prison. Inmates and staff reflect on the pressures that hinder effective reform, from overcrowded facilities to limited funding for educational programs. We hear the voice of Tom, the passionate social worker, as he shares candid frustrations about the bureaucracy and its impact on inmate progress. He narrates moments of success, where art and vocational training have sparked hope among participants, juxtaposed against stories of frustration felt by those who aren't given the same opportunities. Through candid interviews with inmates, we learn about the profound desire for change that exists behind bars. Inmate Sarah articulates how lack of resources and support can exacerbate the sense of hopelessness, making it challenging to envision a future outside the prison walls. This exploration not only highlights the need for reforms, but also emphasizes the resilience of those striving for redemption in an unforgiving environment. Chapter 11. The Dream of Freedom. As the day of their parole hearings approaches, the atmosphere inside the prison becomes charged with anticipation and anxiety. Alex, Maria, and Derek each reflect on their unique journeys, mindful of the weight of their pasts. In a quiet moment, Alex shares his desire to reconnect with his family, who have offered unwavering support despite his mistakes. Maria practices her speech, focusing on her commitment to helping others, motivated by the injustices she has faced. Derek stands as a steady mentor, reminding them that the path to freedom is not only a legal journey, but a deeply personal one. He urges them to articulate their growth and newfound insights during the hearings. The chapter closes with the sounds of clattering trays and murmurs of hopeful whispers, encapsulating the swirling mix of fear and hope as these individuals brace themselves for life-altering decisions just beyond prison walls. Chapter 12. The Turning of the Tide. In this pivotal chapter, the atmosphere within the prison shifts as a series of unexpected moments inspire hope and reflection among the inmates. Alex, Maria, and Derek share their individual breakthroughs during a creative therapy workshop led by Tom. This safe space encourages raw honesty and vulnerability, allowing inmates to confront their fears and dreams. Alex recalls a moment when he painted his feelings of loss and regret, and the act of creation brings tears to his eyes, but also a sense of relief. Maria shares how writing her aspirations in a journal ignites a renewed sense of purpose. Derek expresses a pivotal moment from a conversation with Jordan, where he began to see the possibility of forgiveness, not just from others, but from himself. As this chapter unfolds, listeners can feel the palpable shift in energy and hope, revealing that transformation is possible even amidst the bleakest of surroundings. The tides of their futures seem poised for change. Chapter 13. Releasing the Past. In the dim light of the prison's group therapy room, inmates gather for a pivotal session focused on letting go of guilt. Maria shares her journey of self-forgiveness, recounting how writing in her journal helped her confront the pain of her past. She speaks candidly about the weight of her wrongful conviction and the anguish it has caused, both to her and her family. Derek, inspired by her courage, follows suit, discussing the guilt he carries from decisions that led him to his current situation. Together, they lead a powerful exercise encouraging others to voice their burdens. As the room fills with tearful confessions, the collective weight of regret begins to lift. This moment marks a significant turning point for many. Hope flickers like a candle in the darkness, urging inmates to envision a life beyond their mistakes. The act of sharing becomes both cathartic and liberating, forging a path toward healing.